dreams, and today I wanted to talk about another experience I've had recently with DreamScape, or what I've now learned is commonly referred to as the Astral plane, or the Desire world. Now, 2 nights ago, I became lucid in one of my dreams in a pretty strange way. Instead of performing a reality check and becoming lucid in that way, my awareness arose after feeling the sense of a great weight in my stomach. A weight that made my whole body feel burdened and dragged down. Along with this feeling was what I can only describe as a mild vibration emanating throughout my entire body. Very strange feeling. And I remember this strange sensation wasn't apparent earlier on in the dream, and it had manifested itself very suddenly, as if with the click of a switch. 1 minute it wasn't there, and then the next minute suddenly I felt this feeling. As soon as this feeling started to flood my dream body, I heard a voice, and that voice told me, "Reese, you're dreaming." And I accepted this without the need of having to do a reality check. It was as if I'd just suddenly been enlightened, and no questions needed to be asked. I just followed the voice, and I trusted the voice, and I believed the voice, and just like that I was lucid. It was at this point that what appeared to be a chapter transition overwhelmed my dream vision. Now, I'll go more into chapter transitions in a later video, but basically what it is when you change scene in a dream and momentarily you fade to black. So I've named it chapter transition. So when I reappeared back into the dream landscape, I was in what appeared to be a large communal area. It was bustling with chatter and excitement, and I remember really feeding off this energy and feeling quite excited by it all. And as I looked around, I realised that this lucid dream was a lot more vibrant and alive than my usual ones. I didn't think that this could be possible, but it actually looked more real than my ordinary waking life does. It really was an incredible sight. After seeing the vibrancy and the colour and the light of it all, I was filled with a great sense of euphoria, and I began exploring and chatting with what I at first perceived to be my dream characters. So at this point I surmised that I was experiencing a layer 4 lucid dream. So I was in total control. I was very much aware that the people surrounding me were just figments of my imagination, or so I thought. So it was very much a layer 4 lucid dream in my eyes at that point. Now, I won't go into it all, as the whole experience lasted a colossal amount of time, and I was in the world for what seemed like hours and hours. Absolute, complete time distortion. It was absolutely incredible. However, one thing I will go into detail about is this one woman that I talked to that specifically stuck in my memory. So this woman approached me, and straight away I got the sense that she needed help. And as she approached me, she said, "I'm looking for my dead husband. Can I find him in here?" Now, my response was quite an unusual one for someone who felt that they were experiencing a layer 4 lucid dream, as suddenly the words that came out my mouth felt out of my conscious control, and just flew out of me as if being said by someone else. or what I now believe, after careful consideration, to be my higher self. And this is what I said. Of course, you can find anyone in here. Anyone that has passed on in waking life, you will find in here. The conversation then continues, but those opening lines are the important ones to keep in mind. Now, the first explanation to this is that I experienced a very sudden layer transition down into layer 2 from layer 4, and I suddenly become overly immersed in the dream, and I forgot that the lady who I was talking to was a dream character. This all slipped from memory, and I just slipped into the days of a layer 2 lucid dream. However, to me this seems highly unlikely, as up to this point there had been no layer transitions. Everything had seemed very stable and on an even playing ground. Now, like I talked in my previous video, layer transitions do happen in a dream, but they normally happen, at least to me, when the dream is very flickery and jumpy and nothing's quite staying stable. Then layer transitions happen and you slip in and out of different types of consciousness. But this was a very stable dream, so layer transition, I don't believe that. I don't believe that's what happened. The second explanation is, of course, a much more exciting prospect. This being that when I had experienced the feeling of being weighed down at the beginning of the dream, and the sense of a mild vibration flowing through me, that it was at this point that I left my worldly body and entered into the astral plane. Whilst I was there, I began a conversation with another woman who had stumbled into the astral plane also. And she had begun questioning the possibilities of this being some sort of meeting place for spirits. She began to wonder if there was any possibility that she could find the spirit of her dead husband in this realm, and was asking people for help on the matter. She was going around and asking, trying to find out what was going on, and if she could indeed find her dead husband's spirit in this state of existence. And I happened to be one of the people she asked for help. Now, I'll leave it up to you to decide what explanation you believe. But as time goes by and I process this influx of new information presented to me, I'm starting to believe that it was the latter. And that truly is a mind-blowing prospect to take on board. And I understand this. It's hard to believe, but it is what I believe. Really is incredible though, isn't it? Something to ponder on. Thanks for listening. See ya.